Hello, hello. Welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Matt.
Today we're going to be drinking Green Spot and their Irish whiskey.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Matt, why don't you give us a little background on Green Spot?
All right. So Michelle Martin requested we do Green Spot. I know somehow we haven't covered it right. All right. So this is the regular Green Spot here, 40%. A little history over it. So started by Robert Mitchell, which is Mitchell and Sons, back in 1803. One of his best friends was Robert Mitchell, who was one of the leaders of the Irish Rebellion. Well, eventually he got caught, and then he was hung and decapitated, and then his body was drawn and quartered. So lovely. Yay, lovely British monarch. Anyway, so after that, he said that all firstborn sons of every generation should be called Robert. So now we have 7 generations of Robert as the firstborn son in the family. So that's an interesting tidbit for the family. All right, so they started as a grocer and a baker in 1805. In the 1800s, they sold tea and other confectionaries, and eventually became so good that they get a royal warrant as a confectionery to Her Majesty. So it's kind of a dramatic change of events for them from, hey, let's kill your friends to, hey, we have a royal warrant. It's over on Grafton Street in Dublin. All right, so then in 1887, they got into the whiskey bonding market by bringing in, of course, wine, fortified wines, port, sherry, things like that. And what they would do is they drive down to Jameson over on Bow Street, and they pick up some new make and then put it in their barrels, and they age it for, anywhere between 5 to 15 years, and they combine them and all that fun stuff into different things. So what they would do is when they put the barrels in, they'd mark each of them with these dots on the top. They can see here the green daub from their paintbrush. And so they would do that with the blue, the green, the yellow, and the red. And, of course, the blue is 7-year, the 10 is green, the 12 is yellow, and the 15 is red. And at some point, we'll cover all those and some other wine finish ones. All right. So anyway, so it's the only pot still that has stayed in existence the entire time since it was invented. Every other one has gone to the wayside at some point. Even Redbreast discontinued in the 80s, but then, of course, came back. Wow. That's the only one that's still in existence. And all the other spots were discontinued as well, which we've just started getting in the last 5 years. Them finally starting getting the other ones back, which is pretty impressive. So of course, they were the Irish distillers, of course, did not do great, as we all know, went down to one distillery. And in fact, they got to the point where they said there would be no more bonded whiskey out to anybody else that's doing this. So he, I guess this is in the 1976, they said, well, we've got 10 years of whiskey left and we're about to run out at some point. So he went to all the yacht clubs, golf courses, all the other famous places that rich people hang out and said, hey, your whiskey's about to end. So magically after that, they went and complained and they got more whiskey back. Surprise. So, it's a pretty smart guy. All right. So this actual one, this is 40%. This used to be a 10-year age statement. This used to be 5 years in oloroso and 5 years in fino and then married together, but they no longer do that. Now it actually didn't come to the States till 2014, which I didn't realize it'd only been in the States for a year. Prior to that, apparently you had to basically know about Green Spot in order to get it. And you'd go to the Mitchell and Sons store and you'd pick up this bottle of the different spots that you wanted. So it was apparently very hard to get outside of Ireland prior to 2014, which is very interesting. So now it's between 7 and 10 years old. It's, of course, single pot still, which means that it's all barley, but some of it's malted, some of it's unmalted. Usually a 70-30 split on it. It is in ex-bourbon, new, and then refill, and then sherry cask as well. They only make 12,000 bottles a year, which I didn't realize they made that limited production. So
I didn't either.
One every year, apparently, which is kind of cool. But you still can go to the Mitchell shop and still get it, which is pretty nice. And, of course, now you can see them, at most liquor stores around the States. So, like I said, all right, let's see what we think of this.
What's an approximate price point on this one?
It's under 60. It's usually around 55.
Yeah, and this is the one that you're most common to see in the liquor store.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The other ones,
maybe not.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Where you live, yeah.
That classic Irish
buttery, creamy, smooth
butter cookie.
Yeah, I said smooth. Get over it.
Well, this is butter smooth though.
It is.
Yeah.
It smells just like it's going to be effortless.
Yeah.
It's just like green apples. It's really perfumey, powdered sugar.
Really floral and fruity.
I was about to say the same thing. It's very like field.
Light, clean, crispy. Yeah, out in the wind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also got this like salt and brine note I'm picking up. Just some light
very slight, and it's very far in the back.
But it smells nice.
Yeah.
I wish it was higher proof though. 40% makes it not really jump out of the glass, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish it was too. This was one of the first Irish that I tried and was like, okay. Yeah.
Smells good. Smells delightful.
Yeah, smells good.
I do like the spots.
Mm-mm-mm.
The same with the palate.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that buttery, creamy, smooth silkiness to it, but the finish has just a little bit of a spike to it for me.
I was gonna say, as it's going down, there is a bit of a spike in there,
and that 40% kind of shows up a little bit more at that finish to me.
Yeah, than I was expecting it to.
Right.
The front of the palate is just effortless.
Uh-huh.
But as you're swallowing, that's when more of the flavors start to grow a little bit more.
Right.
Some of the black pepper comes in. There is a little bit of a ding at the end, and then a little bit of a spicy
butter cookie, a
Mm.
little bit of a vanilla pear.
Mm-hmm. Almost a vanilla bean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's those wafers. You know those ones that who makes it? Is it Walker that makes those Scottish little
Wafers
wafers that we had with Nathan down at Psalm 1? Whatever those things are called. I can't remember what they're called, but those biscuit things. They're good though. That's kind of reminds me a lot of that with some green
Jammy
apples.
Dodgers?
No.
What?
Not Jammy Dodgers.
No.
No, not the Jammy Dodgers. The other ones, the little bit. They got little holes in them. I don't know. I can't remember what the heck they're called. I think they're called Walker something. I don't know. They're red and black box. I don't know. It's not really helpful, but I'm sure we'll can figure out what the heck I'm talking about. Anyway,
This is just a really easy Irish whiskey to drink. I would think that personally it would be a great introduction to Irish. It doesn't have that metallic shininess that a lot of the
Really inexpensive.
lower
the blends.
priced blends have. It just doesn't have that turns a lot of people off.
Yeah. It doesn't have any of
this
that
has a lot
3-year-old.
of this is a classic Irish that isn't a high proof and isn't going to hurt somebody. I think it'd be a great introduction for a bourbon drinker.
Yeah.
And if the only Irish you've had is Jameson or Proper 12 or one of those uses very, very young Irish grains.
Yeah. Don't base your Irish thoughts on those.
No, because this is nothing like that.
No, yeah, because it's still this thing, like you said, especially the finish really picks up all your salt and your black peppers.
Right.
It also has this brininess to it. I'm still getting some confectionery sugar, and there's also a little bit of fruit like guava and mango.
Yeah, it's not as tropical as some of the older ones.
Banana. Yeah, you don't get that because the age.
Into it, that kind of starts to come out the more you let it sit in your glass.
It's leaning that way.
It's definitely leaning that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely
don't
true.
pick up any of those mango.
They're not right up front.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't come to the finish.
It's to the finish.
Gotcha.
But yeah, what it does set you up for though. So when you do go to the 12 and the 15, you go to the Chateau Montelena and the Chateau Louisville Barton. Those will change for you. So that's where all the magical fruits show up. But this is just the base whiskey for the spot lineup, and it's good. It's inexpensive, for what it is. So it's a good place for a pot still price point wise.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I do love the green spot. I like all the spots. They're good stuff.
Haven't found one we didn't enjoy yet.
Exactly.
We'll keep on looking. We'll see.
Well, we've tried them all. So, all right. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. And until next time,
Keep on crusading for better whiskey in your glass. Cheers.
I do like the green spot.
It's good, but it just lacks a little bit for me. I wish it was just a little bit better.
It's just an easy drinker.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's so easy for me. It's just like, meh. It's
Yeah.
Well, after some of the stuff that we have,
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is we're so far down this road at this point. Like, it's a nice whiskey, but it's a background whiskey for me at this point. Like, when it started, oh yeah, that's a great whiskey to start with.
Right.
But yeah, once you get past that stuff and get to an advance, it's like, it's nice. It's a good one for watching a movie or whatever. But,
Right.
yeah, it's
Or
a
you're just gonna
good
keep
one.
on refilling it and refilling the guests around you.
Yeah.
Everybody's just gonna sip on it and it's gonna be better.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a good one to not have to sit and mull about.